It is once again time to spin the wheel to see what character we're going to be working on our swords only account. And it looks like it's going to be Furina. Okay, so Furina is the character of the day. I would say day, but this is going to take us a while. You know what's kind of funny is Furina is the current character on the banner. And I don't have a festering desire on this account. So, signature weapon would be kind of nice. But of course, we're not really close to pity, so that's probably not gonna happen. But since I'm stupid enough to pull on this banner, let's just go for it. And it's a purple. But what if, hypothetically, I were to just keep pulling on this and hoping that we got the sword? Surely I would be rewarded for my efforts, right? That's always how it goes. I never just run out of primos and don't get what I want. That's unheard of. Well, I guess there's a first time for everything. I know that there's a fishing weapon that is decent on Hertz, that pipe one, but I honestly feel like Favonius is just better. And it also means I don't have to do a ton of fishing, so we're gonna go with Favonius. In terms of her talents, there's actually not too much we have to do, and we can already bring her burst up to level 8. I don't think it's a bad idea to get her skill up to level 9, so I will go and fight the whale just in case we decide to do that. And it's never a bad idea to get extra weekly boss drops. One whale defeated. I suppose before I go changing anything or trying to improve her, we should just have a look at the stats. And I mean, she's not terrible. 35,000 HP and 203% energy recharge. And we want a 4-piece golden troop. Currently, it would appear we have next to none of that type of artifact. Unless this one wants to roll HP percent and then roll into crit rate. Nope, flat defense. That is the worst stat you could have gotten. And I'm out of consumables. This is a good start. I suppose I might as well head over and start farming for the golden troop set. Surprisingly, the first piece we get is on the right track. HP percent is the sands that we're gonna want. In fact, altogether, it's probably gonna be HP percent, and then crit. We could do hydro damage bonus, but because of the way that her burst works, you get a little more value out of HP percent, especially if you have your C2, which we don't have on this account, but we can just pretend that we have it. Like, that works too, right? We did get an HP percent goblet. It doesn't have double crit, but if it rolls into ER and crit rate, that's a pretty good piece. And then the run after, we get a crit rate circlet with HP percent. Of course, all of these could roll terribly, and then we've essentially gotten nothing. But it is nice to at least see a couple of potentially decent artifacts. All right, day 2, here's what I'm thinking. It's a Sunday, so I'm gonna farm the Philosophies of Justice, hopefully get enough to bring both of these level 9, but I don't know if that's gonna be the case. And then also go and farm the whale. Now we are going to do this as fast as we can. I told you it was going to be fast. One correction though, I forgot that we farmed the whale. I think it was yesterday. Don't ask how I already forgot that. I play across 4 Genshin Impact accounts, 2 Honkai Star Rail accounts, a Wuthering Waves account, and now a Zenless Zone 0. So it is very difficult for my brain to keep track of everything. Outside of the whale drops, which we need 1 more of, the only other thing that we're missing to bring both of these to 9 are some more energy nectar. Then since tomorrow is Monday, that means it's a new week and we can farm the whale again. And just as a little tidbit of information for you guys of how all this works, each time that I play on here and actually record it, it's usually every other day because I just condense the resin so that I could spend it all in one go. That might not always be the case, but for the most part, every time it's a new day, it's really 2 new days. And also most of the time I don't even say that it is a new day, so it might seem like I'm building these characters in, like, I don't know, 4 days, but I can assure you that is very much not the case. I wish it was. Gosh, if we could like finalize a build on a character in 3 to 4 days, you know how much more content I can make in this game. But artifact domains alone require weeks, especially if it's a character that is a damage dealer. But I'm just gonna spend some time farming the Whopper flowers, and then we can meet back to tomorrow or the next day or whenever the next part of this is recorded, and hopefully level up both Furina's skill and a burst to level 9. Oh, and before I log out, I probably want to do this event. Fun fact, we actually just did this event on Geo only about 6 hours ago. So I'm not going to show any of it, but we definitely want the materials and primos that it has to offer. After a couple of days of artifact farming, we are back again. We have 2 days worth of resin to spend. And first things first, we gotta go fight the whale. So the whale has been defeated. Only 2 drops this time, but again, I don't know if we had fully committed to actually leveling up the talents more. Though I do think it would be nice to get the skill and burst to level 9. And for that, I'm pretty sure we need the Lightless Masses, of which we own 0. And I only have 3 Dream Solvent, and it would cost us 4. So I'm going to do 2, and I guess if this takes us until next week, we could do the last one. Or I could go farm my other weekly bosses and hope that we get a dream solvent. But we will push her skill up to level 9. Since we are spinning the wheel, I have no idea what character is going to be next. So in terms of what weekly boss I should be farming besides the whale, I'm just going to kind of farm whatever I have the least drops from. I also realized here that since we can't freeze the boss, we can't apply the freezing condition, which means we don't have to worry about even applying hydro. And that means I could just put up Furina's heal instead of trying to do damage. And it kind of makes the boss fight stupidly easy. The only thing that would make it even easier is if the boss didn't teleport almost every time I put down a burst. But that's besides the point. Here comes our dream solvent. Like I said, see, Raiden and I go way back. There's no way that she would not have given us a dream solvent when we want it. So we will convert those 2 over and bring Furina's burst also up to level 9. And with that, the only thing left are the artifacts, which we haven't been getting the luckiest with, though that tends to be how artifact domains go, so I can't say I'm entirely surprised. Also, don't worry, Ayaka currently has the Mist-Splitter. For once, I did not forget to swap it over. All of our resin later, we didn't get anything good. But that's fine, right, guys? Because we could just wait 2 more days and then try again. And that is exactly what we're gonna do. Not even joking, I just checked, it's been over a month since I started farming artifacts for Furina. In complete honesty, no, I did not farm every single day, but a lot of the days I did. Also, I did get both her skill and burst up to level 9. I'm not sure if we've already gone over that. Again, it's been quite a while. Then for artifacts, we have 3 out of 5. This is our feather, this is our flower, and that is our circlet. Could they be improved? Yes. But if I was going for the absolute best of everything, I'd be here for another 3 years and I still wouldn't be happy. So I have decided that today, I don't care if I have to use some fragile resin, we are going to finish building this Furina. All I need is 1 more piece on this set, and then I can get any other set to fill the last slot. So 200 resin and 5 condensed resin. Let's see if we can get 1 usable piece for either the goblet or the sands. And then, like I said, we have probably about 14 fragile resins that we could dip into if we need to. And once we hopefully get the piece that we're looking for, at least something usable, then I still need to figure out what kind of team I want to use Furina on. I think Jean is just going to go on that team regardless, because as far as I'm aware, Jean is one of the better characters to run with her. Allows you to get both viridescent shreds and heals. This team is not as good of a team to run with her. I'm just using her for the hydro application. Ooh. Wait, that's a really good flower. But of course, it has to roll well, because we have gotten a lot of pretty good looking pieces doing this. But then I roll them, and it might have, say, double crit and flat attack as one of the other substats, and I get 3 rolls into flat attack. I mean, I don't need to explain this. I think we're all aware of how artifact rolls in this game go. We've all experienced the torment. Okay, even though none of these are going to be usable for us, I must admit that at least the game is giving us a lot of the set that we're looking for. Of course, if it's on the set but still not usable, it doesn't change the fact that I'm not going to be using it. But you know what? I'm looking for the little victories here. And also, apparently I need to start looking for more crystal cores. Ooh, you know what it might be? Maybe because I haven't been recording all of the artifact drops I've gotten over the past month, the game isn't giving me any good stuff, because the game wants it to be on camera to then show other people that it is possible to get good stuff so that they keep farming too, which is probably why we just got that good flower. That's it. We cracked the code. So these are guaranteed to be good artifact. I'm just gonna shut up. We did manage to get another double crit with ER piece. Pretty good. Unfortunately, it'll roll flat attack, but we don't have to talk about that. Unfortunately, it's not on the set that we're looking for, but maybe someday we'll use it. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that artifact set is best in slot for any sword characters. I mean, I guess you could kind of put it as like a main DPS Furina, but that's not what we're really going for. And then in terms of HP manipulation, there's really not much else. Okay, see, this is where we can start panicking, because that was all of our resin and condensed resin, and we didn't get a single sand or goblet that I would want to use. However, we do need to go ahead and power up this flower to see what it rolls into. Okay, HP percent's fine. There's only 1 stat on here that I don't want it to roll into, and I'm not even gonna say the name of it. Okay, well, I guess I didn't have to. Okay, now that it's at level 20, I don't think I'm using it for Furina because I like this one more. Even though there's no HP percent, I'm gonna be sticking with what we had. All right, I popped some fragile resin, went out, caught a couple more crystal flies, turned it into condensed resin, and we are back. I have been going for HP percent on the goblet, but if this rolls well, I have no problem using that. Oh, and again, we get a good circlet, but wrong set. Though the circlet is a piece I don't mind using as an off piece if I need it. Something like a off piece feather or flower is a lot less valuable. We actually did get an HP percent goblet as well. Now that HP percent one looked a little more appealing because it had crit rate already on it, and crit rate is kind of what I need more of at the moment. Unless the game wants to be super nice and lets me roll crit as the last stat. Speaking of crit, we got double crit on the wrong set as the feather, which, you know, is not great, but it's okay. Better than a completely useless piece. So let's go in and let's see. That's animo damage. This is hydro damage. We power this up. Best case scenario, crit damage. Second best would be energy recharge. And yeah, you know what? I'm really not surprised. Now, just as a test, what about the HP percent one? What are we seeing here? Okay, it's not terrible. It's not great, but you know, it's still HP. If we go in and look at our current crit ratio with 2 artifacts missing, 47 to 146. And if we sort by crit rate as the highest stat, this is our highest crit rate on an HP percent piece at 7.8. But we do have a Sans on HP with 13. Oh, this is actually pretty good. So if we need to go for the crit damage one, that's okay. So for right now, we are going to look at the crit damage HP percent one, and we're gonna hope that it rolls into the stats we want, which energy recharge is okay. A roll into crit damage would be nice. Oh, whoa, that's not good. All right, you know what? Let's go back to the hydro damage one. See if this rolls any better, which it doesn't. We'll bring it up to plus 12. See if there's, you know, a little bit of luck left over. No? Okay. I see how this is going. I completely understand. Guys, it's just a test. The game is testing us to make sure that we really do want a good artifact here. Because you know what they say. You know, 99% of gamblers quit before they win big. And I am the 1%. Look, game, you gotta stop with this. Like, this is a great piece. I like that piece. Very good. But let's put it onto this set instead. See, okay, you're kind of right now. You got it on the right set. Okay, double crit, very good. The defense, no, that's bad. We don't want that here. Remember, Genshin, the defense goes over to Geo only, okay? Before I even ask this, I'm pretty sure the answer is going to be the Husk of Opulent Dreams set. But is the Golden Troop better for Albedo than the Husk of Opulent Dreams, or is that one still his best in slot? I mean, I'm sure you could use either one, because that is our only chance of needing defense with double crit on this set. I mean, that's our only chance of needing defense, period. Look, guys. We got another HP percent goblet. It's looking really appealing. It's taking everything in my power to not just roll it right now because I'm so excited to see how it rolls. Just think of all the flat defense that we could have. Since we didn't get anything good, I'm back to powering up this artifact again and just hoping that it rolls once into crit rate, which it doesn't. Because with our build looking like this, we have a 64 to 165 crit ratio. I want more crit rate, so back into the domain we go. Look, I don't even need crit damage on it. I just want a goblet with either HP percent or hydro damage with a lot of crit rate. Crit rate is all that I care about on it. I don't think that's too much to ask. It was indeed too much to ask. We did get an HP percent goblet that doesn't have crit rate, and you guys are gonna think that I'm a psychic, but I already know it's gonna go into flat defense. I've seen it before. I know nothing about this game. Oh, there. Okay. I was looking a little too far into the future. Wasn't quite flat defense. It was just defense percent. And to prove that I'm not just completely making it up, this roll goes into flat HP. I know it. More defense is what I meant. I am going to have the most defensive Furina you've ever seen in your life, is what I was going to say until I realized it was going to roll into crit rate because I knew that beforehand. And then this roll, to finish it off, another defense percent. Flat HP. I am so smart. Well, that is still, sadly, better than what we were using. I mean, like, a good thing that it's better than what we were using, but it's sad that that's an improvement, which now leaves our Furina with 35,000 HP, and that will go up if we have Hydro Resonance on the team. 68 to 172 crit ratio. Again, I'd prefer a little more crit rate, but it's not really going my way today. And then 183% energy recharge. Now here is another problem we're kind of gonna run into. We can go ahead and theory craft a team for Furina, but because we're building characters one at a time, most of these characters aren't really built. So Furina and Jean would be a really good comp, but if we go and look at Jean's build, just like my social life, it doesn't exist. Also, it's been long enough now where I can activate this because I'm no longer mad at Jean. So who is going in this party? I'm not gonna lie, something that would be pretty funny is if I did this. Since we have C6 Bennett, imagine if we built Kaya for a melt team. We put him either on like EM or even pyro damage, or we could do something like this, kind of a electro charge team, and that'll help because Xingqiu can help generate particles for Furina and vice versa. It's weird because I'm looking for main damage dealers to go with Jean and Furina, and Alhaitham is definitely a main DPS, but he works better in Dendro teams. And then Ayaka is obviously a main DPS, but the problem that I run into with Ayaka is I pretty much need to run her with, where is she? Layla, where did you go? Oh, there you are. I need these two together. Otherwise, Ayaka does not get her burst fast enough. And we need the cryo resonance. So then if I were to slot in a Furina, the last slot pretty much has to be Jean. And I mean, this could work. I guess it's also not really a terrible idea. Or we could even do something like that, which now that I'm looking at it is basically the same as this team. But I guess do let me know if any of you think that this team could actually work, because if I roll Kaya on the wheel and I have to build him, then I would want to know if this is the kind of team I want to go for. So I believe that these are the different teams that we could put together using Furina, or at least the ones that make sense. This is the last chance. Another day has passed, so we have 5 condensed resins that we can use to see if maybe, just maybe, we can get any upgrades. Also, I'm realizing this Jean needs so much more ER. Oh, and her heal is terrible, which means she needs more attack and probably healing bonus. But since she isn't the focus of this video, I'm just going to completely ignore that for now. I'm just gonna speed through this because I'm sure we've all seen enough of this domain. But I feel like this could be a pretty fun team once we get it all up and running. The game did give us a Hydro Damage Goblet, but with no crit of either kind, I don't think I can use that. If it had crit rate on it, I would definitely roll it. And unfortunately, we did not get any replacement pieces. But there is one thing kind of very unrelated to Furina that we still need to do. Because you see, there's an event right now where we can get Kirara's skin and another constellation for her. But I did already do this event on my main account and included some of it in a previous video. So my goal is to see how little of it I can complete while still getting the skin and maybe the constellation as well. So I think these little airplanes are going to be our ticket to victory. If victory is getting the skin, I guess. I'm hoping that by running around, I don't trigger any random cutscenes. Although I don't think I can get everything if I don't unlock spots like this, which you do by doing the main story of this event. But you see, I don't have the time to do the whole story, but we'll see what we're able to do here. Now that I'm looking at it though, I actually can't claim any rewards until I do part of this quest. Oh, and I probably maybe I could just walk to the other island. I have a feeling they're not gonna let me do that, but I am definitely going to try. Yeah, the screen's starting to get darker. We can't just walk there. It would seem I have no choice but to follow what the game wants me to do again. Okay, so we now have access to the thing that we need to actually get her skin, though we can only do so much on this island before we need to go to the next one, which of course means we're gonna have to do some amount of this. And so I am going to employ a technique known as zoning out. I'm gonna slap a YouTube video on my other monitor and just keep clicking left mouse button in this game. And of course, grabbing any of the paper airplanes along the way. Also, I just need to point out that this is the easiest mini game ever created because you can stand here spamming the pickup button. Since it doesn't let you pick it up beforehand, you don't have to walk around this in a circle. You don't need to follow the rules, and then, oh look, I win. But anyways, I will see you when I can hopefully get Kirara's skin, which out of context, that sounds like a really messed up thing to say. Probably should start referring to it as an outfit instead of a skin. All right, so a couple hours later, we have everything that we need to get both the Kirara constellation as well as her new outfit, not skin. Sadly, that does only bring us to C3, and I would really like to get to C4, but at least we are one step closer to getting there. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, I will see you all next time.